Hey, what's up, guys? The hype for Final Fantasy is picking up, and this Saturday there's going to be a big announcement at PAX East. Now, I want to talk about the products, the sealed products for Final Fantasy, what their prices are, how these prices have moved over the past month, and where they're going to go, and when would be like the best time or best periods of times to pick some of these products up if you're looking for maybe the best deals and things like that. Obviously, the caveat is that, of course, you're going to find the one-off instances where a game store is going to be selling them at MSRP or close to, and those are going to be the greatest deals. But realistically, what I fear is that because of Final Fantasy is such a popular franchise, it's bringing people in who don't normally play Magic, which is a good thing. But it's also going to be attracting a lot of scalpers, people who are going to try to take advantage of this situation, make a quick buck or two. And I fear we're going to see Pokemon levels of demand and scalping and manipulation and things like that. So you have to be really careful. So let's take a look at the products and where they are standing today. So here is the collector booster box. Currently, it's sitting at $674 per box, and if we look at the price history, it was on a downward trend. It had fallen quite a bit, maybe like $80-ish or so, and at one point it even got a little bit below $600. And then what happened is you can see that there's this big spike, and what caused that spike was mostly the Hasbro earnings call where they announced that this has been the greatest selling set of all time, and I do believe that. I think if this hasn't already been, it certainly will be the greatest selling set of all time, and it will definitely surpass Lord of the Rings for many reasons. Whether you agree with it or you like it or not, it's going to be better in terms of money and financial value for both collectors and for Wizards of the Coast themselves. So it's sitting at about 674. And what I think is going to happen is I think it could be like for the remainder of this week going into maybe Thursday or Friday. So like for the next 2 days, it'll probably stay around 674. It could go down a couple of dollars. But I think once we get near this announcement and when the announcement happens, we're going to see another big spike up as long as what they show us is going to be really good. And I think it will be. If you recall back to what happened with Tarkir Dragonstorm, they had that announcement video, and after that, like prior to that video, like it was like dying down the hype. People didn't really care too much about it, but they showed off really great things, right? Like the serialized Mox Jasper, the fetch lands printed in the special guest slot. They just showed off a lot of the really cool cards, some chase cards and things like that. Ugin. And Elspeth, right? So I think they're going to do that again here with Final Fantasy. It might be even more exciting. I think there's going to be serialized cards. There's going to be some really interesting special guests or special treatment of cards that they're going to put in the collector booster box and things like that. People are going to get really excited, really hyped up. I think this is going to shoot up. I want to point out that there is a kind of a large wall of 158 boxes right here at $680. So if you look at all this, it's like 250-ish boxes or so until we hit this large wall. Then after that, we're in the 680s for a decent amount of boxes. And really, it tops out at like 825 or something, right? So I think what's going to happen, and there's a total of 468 boxes listed on TCG Player right now. I think what's going to happen is there's going to be a big spike of about 100 to 200 boxes sold on May 10th when they do the announcement. We're going to be pushing the upper 600s, even moving into the low 700s at that point this Saturday when it happens. And but don't forget that on, I think, May 16th, TCG Player is having their 10% store credit sale. May 16th. So I think that's next Friday. Yes, that's next Friday. I think it's a one-day event, 9 a.m. Eastern to 11 p.m. Eastern. And 13% for subscribers. So Not too shabby if you want to pay the $9 just to subscribe for this one event. And then let's say, so you pay $9 for this, you get 13% or more. I don't know what the numbers are. I think it's 14. So it's like 13 for subscribers. And if you're like a first time subscriber, it's 1 more percent. Forgive me, my dog is barking. 1 more percent. So you could get 14%. And if you're getting a $700 Final Fantasy collector box, you are, that's like, what's 14% of like 700? It's like it's over $100 or something like that. So that's a pretty good deal for a $9 subscription. Now I did make a video the other day about whether the TCG Player Pro or subscription service was worth it. I personally believe, as a normal regular buyer, it's not worth it because you, for various reasons, check out the video, but basically, like, I bought a lot of stuff that were under like their $30 threshold. And if you don't hit that, you don't get any store credit. And then normally it's only 1% until you've been a subscriber for like 3, 6 months, 12 months or something like that. And you top out at 3%, which isn't really that much. So you got to be spending so much money. But I do think it is worth it on these special occasions when they are having these 10, 13, 14% situations, and you want to spend $500,000 or more. Pay the $9 for this 1 month. Don't forget to cancel. And buy this, and you get like $100, $200, $300 in store credit, which is awesome. You can use to buy more stuff at another time. So I definitely, if you're gonna buy this, I would wait. I'd wait till the 16th. I'd subscribe. I'd get the store credit. That would be a really good time to buy this because yes, it will shoot up, but I think even if it gets to 750, let's say, right, which I don't think it's gonna hit 750 this Saturday. But even if it does, you'll get 14% of 750, and let's just do the math here. So we're not talking about random numbers and stuff. So 750 times 14%, 0.14 is $105. Okay, so my earlier math was wrong. So let's say even if it gets to 750, if you subscribe for the month, you get $105 in store credit. It's not cash back or anything like that. But that's still really good. It's only $9 to subscribe, so you're gonna be up like $90-something, and this thing goes up like $75. So you still get a little bit better deal, assuming you're gonna be using that money on TCG Player, which you probably would anyway eventually. So you could do that. You could also just buy it now, because if you don't buy it now, I do see it's a possibility it gets to the low 700s, possibly close to 750 this Saturday. I think that the prices could have another dip at some point after release, kind of like what Tarkir Dragonstorm has a dip now. But it's hard to compare this to Tarkir Dragonstorm because this is Universes Beyond and this is Final Fantasy, right? So it's possible, but I wouldn't count on it. So if you're waiting for a dip for collector boxes of Final Fantasy, don't do it. Buy it now. Buy it this Saturday, not this Saturday, buy it next Friday for the 10, 13, 14% store credit deal. That would be a good time to buy the collector boosters. All right, so let's take a look at what the other sealed products for Final Fantasy are looking like right now. The play booster boxes. There's not much to talk about the play booster boxes, but the big overarching thing to say about play booster boxes is that these get reprinted a lot. Okay, so don't overpay for this. I actually think this price right here, $144, is actually pretty good, because I initially thought $150 was pretty good for this, and it's below that. So this is a good price. It will go up in the short term as the demand rises, and then the supply will go down until they reprint. So if you look at like Foundations, if you look at Tarkir Dragonstorm, if you look at Bloomburrow, the other play boosters, they went up, but the reprint hit and they came back down. The price for play boosters, at least while the set is in print, should be stable, or will stabilize. So I don't know exactly what number that is, but remember, this is like the premium product or whatever. They're going to charge you more for licensing fees and whatever. And also because they can and they want more money, this is probably a good price. Do not pay $160, $170, $160 maybe if you just want one. don't pay over 170 for this, at least while it's in print for like the next 2 years, or at least the next year. And, get it as you need it. You want to draft it, get a couple boxes, whatever. I also understand cracking play boosters, because normally I would recommend, if you're going to just crack packs, get collector boosters. But I understand collector boosters of Final Fantasy is like $700-800, and that's a lot of money. You can get like 6 of these boxes, maybe 7. So that, maybe you can crack some of these. What else can you do, right? All right, let's take a look at the bundles and gift bundles. So bundles, $70. I am a fan of collecting bundles because they don't reprint bundles. Yes, the contents, like the booster packs in the bundle, if it's not a collector pack, will get reprinted, but the bundle itself won't. So the bundle value does increase more than just like the play boosters or the regular packs in like within the 2-year time frame where they are reprinting the pack. So I do like collecting bundles. I think this is the MSRP for the regular bundle, $70. It is pretty high, so get one if you want to open it or if you want to collect them. But I think this is an okay price, I guess. I don't know. I don't really like this because I like the gift bundle. Now, the problem with the gift bundle is that it has a collector pack, so it's going to be really hard to find at a good price. On TCG Player, they're going for $153. And if you look at the chart, it's actually been going down. So I wouldn't pay $153 for this. You only get one collector pack. Like, just if you're going to spend that much money, either pay like whatever the $70 they're charging for one collector pack, or pay up the $700-800 for the collector box. Because you're paying, it comes with what, 9 regular boosters, but just buy the play booster box, right? This is the price of a play booster box that has 30 play boosters, and the only real difference, I know you get the other garbage, like the lands and the spin down. If you really want that, go for it. Do whatever you want with your money. But for value, if you want this because you want the collector booster box, just buy the collector booster pack. Just buy the pack or buy a whole box of it. If you want the play boosters, just buy the play booster play box. Now, if you can find this at MSRP, which I think is $90 or $100, that's a pretty good deal. I would definitely do that, considering the collector pack is like $70 or more, or whatever they're going for now. So, and the thing is, for this though, like the big stores like Target, Walmart, Best Buy, they will, I think they will sell this, and it will be at MSRP like $90, $100. If you can find that, that's great. But you're going to go up against the scalpers. You're going to go up against the bots and all that stuff trying to get them. So good luck. If you can secure it for 100 or 110, I think that's where you should buy that. Interested to see how this downtrend will continue to go on TCG Player. I think it will continue to go down. Not sure how far it's going to fall. I'm hoping this gets closer to like 110, 120. I think it's possible it could get there. So I would not pay 150 for this. Just buy the other products. All right, Commander decks. On to the Commander decks. The regular Commander decks, non-collector edition, $366. Wow, that's really high. I think I recall that they were like 70 MSRP. And again, you can theoretically find these at MSRP for like $70 at like Target, Walmart, Best Buy, if you can beat out all the scalpers and bots for them. But I guess that's possible. So if you want all of the decks, I would wait a little bit. I think you can probably get this in the low 300s, 320, 330. But if you don't really care about the $30 difference, just buy it, because there's always that chance that it doesn't go down, right? There's also always that fear that like Costco or whatever has like the bundle where they give you the Commander deck, like they've been doing they did that for Doctor Who, they did that for Lord of the Rings. Maybe they overprinted this. The regular Commander decks do get reprinted. Okay, so this is not like a super low supply kind of thing. It takes time to reprint them. They will be reprinted. So the price of these should be a little bit stable for the time being. So I kind of think this is high, but you could wait I think it will go down to the low 300s for this. But the collector edition commander decks, the price on this is wild. So what is this? Final Fantasy collector commander. I don't know what they're calling this. Yeah, commander, collector, blah blah blah. $1,000 for all four of this. $250 a deck. Seems pretty high. And you know, look at this. Look, it kind of has like a big crash. It was like at 1,300 and it's crashed down to just above 1,000. So maybe it's a good time to buy it now. I'm not sure. Could it go down more? Certainly can. This seems like a lot of money for commander decks that are just foils, right? Is that? But if you look, you know, and we can't really compare this to other commander decks, but the only other commander decks they've ever done in collectors, I believe, is Warhammer 40K. This was like 3-4 years ago. But you know, it's just hitting $1,000 now. I don't recall what the price was on release of this thing, but if you look at the last year performance of this, it's up 85%. You know, a year ago it was sitting at $500 and is now like over 900, 970, closing it basically $1,000. So yes, it's going to be very expensive. Yes, the Final Fantasy one, yes, it's 1,000 right now. It could go down a little bit, but as long as you're patient, you don't open them, you know, this is probably going to go up 100% in the next 4 years or whatever, and it'll be at $2,000. So now is probably a good time to buy. If you wait, you can definitely probably get them a little bit cheaper, but it's a risk. If you really want them, I would just buy them now. Yeah, so anyway, let me know what you think about the price of all this. I know it's pretty ludicrous. What are you buying? Are you buying any of this collector stuff? $700 for a box, $1,000 for the collector commander decks? Are you just going to buy the regular ones? What are you going to do with them when you buy? Are you going to save it? Are you going to open them? Are you going to resell them? Are you just going to frame them? Anyway, just be careful. Be careful out there, whatever you buy, you know, because people are going to be taking advantage of this. There's going to be a lot of scalpers. Pre-orders probably going to be getting canceled and stuff like that. All right. I'll see you guys next time.